What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking down Stage 10 of the Goku Story Edition Red Zone here. We are going to be reeling in for the very last of the missions that I have to complete with the youth category team. Now, funny thing to note about that one is you actually only need 5 youth characters, so we could use a full youth team here, but if you'll notice, I do have AGL-UI Goku here as well. One thing that the youth team lacks is slot 1 units, and as I have completed the other missions on this event, I have learned it is very, very important to have slot 1 units available, because you're basically being hit with a slot 1 super that hits harder every single turn for the entire battle. So you kind of really do need to rely on some slot 1s. So the idea here is that AGL-UI is going to be one of our slot 1s, and then hopefully the infinite stacking, leader and friend lead character can provide enough defensive support to be able to be our other slot 1 unit. So we'll see how that ends up working out. That's the main strat that I've got going so far. And then obviously we just have some support in our Chi-Chi and Bulma, and then lots of good damage coming from our other 2 physical units, who are going to have type advantage through the entirety of the event. We are using the Bond Parent and Child Support Memory here, which is going to be buffing 10% stats to every single character except for Bulma on the team. And then I did bring a Whis along as well. I was able to get through with no items when I did the Giant 8 Power mission, but when I did the Otherworld Warriors mission, I did actually have to use my my Whis. So I'm assuming that the same kind of thing may end up happening here, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so we got really, really bad RNG on this first run, which is not good because we only have 2 attempts left at this for the day. We started with 6, and each of the missions so far has taken us 2 attempts, so we've got 2 tries left with this team. The fact that we just got UI Goku in slot 7 is not good. That means that there's 2 turns worth of attacks up front here that we're going to have to worry about tanking, so that's going to be quite hurtful. Now, the only thing that would be a really, really nice saving grace, this enemy does have a 50% chance to launch his super attack, and he's got no cooldown. Obviously, only 1 super attack per turn. If we get lucky enough to not tank an attack right up front in slot 1 here, then we'll be chilling, because that will be an entire turn of not taking damage, because obviously we won't end up taking any damage if we're able to attack first. So yeah, we'll see. But hopefully we would still be okay. Let's see, we've got only 200k defense in base, but they do have some damage reduction available to them, so maybe that won't be the worst thing ever. We're gonna have to see how this looks moving forward here. Oh, and then we're only able to get the 4 orbs. Once we're able to get the active skills affected for... Okay, so there is a slot 1 super. Let's see if we even survive this. 1.1 million damage. Yeah, we did tank it. I don't know exactly why we were able to double-digit tank that. We only had 200k. He had 5 times the attack output as us. So because of our entrance animation, there is a 40% damage reduction on him. Oh, and then he has the additional 20% in base, I see. So that was 60% damage reduction. And then he also gets the 200% stats when receiving an attack. So yeah, that makes sense then why he was able to tank that. Okay, well, with that being considered, knowing that the AGL UI, or not UI, the AGL Kid Goku can actually tank in slot 1, that's pretty good. Keeping in mind, though, that after 7 turns, the 40% damage reduction is going to go away. And then, also, this guy's attacks are going to be getting stronger and stronger throughout the fight. So we'll have to see how much defense power we're able to build up with the, Kid Goku's, just because obviously they are infinitely stacking defense, so that's going to help him for sure. But we'll just see if we're able to outclass the amount of attack stacking that he's doing, because this enemy is going to be gaining 5% attack stats up to 300% every time he receives an attack. So basically throughout the entirety of the fight, he's just going to be raising his attack by more and more and more. Okay, so then this is what really hurts us, because we don't have any of the 3 units that we know can be in slot 1. We might end up having to rely on, let's see here, I'm not sure which of the 3 fighters that we've got in front of us is going to be the best option for slot 1, so we're just going to review some kits really quick. I guess I might as well include you guys in this process since I'm not going to press any buttons on screen. Okay, so for the Youth Goku here, he gets this when attacking. Okay, for every key sphere obtained, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get 8 key spheres will be what I'm able to get. So that is going to give him some extra defense there. And then, oh, we get the extra damage reduction with Rainbow Key Spheres. I'm able to get 4. Okay, he's probably going to be our slot 1 then. I guess... Oh. Yeah, he has to be 3rd attacker in the turn for these. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So, with 3 or more, 5 or more, 7 or more. So, yeah, he's actually going to get all of this stuff applied. So, the additional 8% damage reduction there and the additional defense, he's definitely who we want in slot 1 on this turn. Okay. There's no sense in even looking at the others, because, like, Bulma has the stacking damage reduction, right? She's just going to be getting more and more. So, right now, she doesn't have enough of it to be able to tank up front. And then, she gets a lot of the stuff each time she performs super attacks and things like that. Yeah, and then I guess she would have this as well. So she would probably be decent, and then she does have the high chance to evade. What is her defense stat looking like? Let's double check. Yeah, they're all kind of around the same level right now. So yeah, probably it's going to be the physical Path to Power Kid Goku we want up here. Okay, yeah, so there we go. 8 orbs total, and then 4 rainbow orbs, so he just got an extra 40% damage reduction and lots of extra defense. Yeah, now he's going to be chilling. He's tanking no problem up there. Especially with type advantage, that helps him out a lot too, right? Okay, so we'll grab these with Bulma, and then we can get all these same type orbs with Chi-Chi. Well, perfect. We don't really need to worry about setting up the boards for the subsequent rotations, just because this enemy has the ability to change the key spheres at will, right? So at the beginning of every turn, he's just going to be randomly shuffling the board for us. Okay, 31 million attack stat coming in post being attack lowered is pretty insane there. You know, thinking about it, I probably should have kept Chi-Chi on rotation here. That was kind of a bad choice by my hand. I mean, I guess they are both support units. They're both pretty good support units, so that's not going to really make too much of a difference. But Chi-Chi would be the better of the 2 support units to have around, right? So yeah, that is just a bit of a blunder by me, I think. Not keeping Chi-Chi on rotation instead of Bulma. But I suppose as long as, you know, whoever's in slot 1 is tanking our super attack, all of these units are going to have enough defensive capability to tank normals. Oh, and then, yeah, that's the other thing, is that Bulma is actually going to be able to do damage, whereas this Chi-Chi, it looks like she's below the damage threshold. Yeah, not all of her attacks are actually peeking through. And I guess she's going to be dealing more attacks per turn, too, so that's also going to be a factor to consider, right? Okay, here we go. So we want to launch this active for sure. All that does is give him a stat buff, and more importantly, some additional ki. So now it'll be really, really easy to make sure that we can get super attacks off with him every turn. Okay, so for Goku's first appearance, he is going to get guaranteed dodges. So we do want to leave him in slot 1 here, for sure. Let's see, who's got the highest defense? Oh yeah, he does. Okay, so we'll grab these orbs with UI Goku. He is 100% going to dodge here, so that's going to help make sure we live the turn, as he pretty much is guaranteed to get slot 1 supered. There's no questioning that. There we go. Alright, awesome, awesome. And then, yeah, that means that not tanking the attack, he is not going to lose any damage output, which is good. Though it is his first turn, he does need to build up a little bit first, so. Not looking too insane here, but at least with those guaranteed crits, he's above the damage threshold, so that's nice. He is committing to doing some damage. So we're just gonna have to think about our future rotations, considering that, you know, after glancing back through the kits for the AGL Kid Gokus, seeing that they can kind of just tank in slot 1, I feel like it might be the smartest for me to just rely on having him in slot 1 instead of AGL UI. Because if AGL UI manages to get hit by an attack, that's going to be really, really bad for us, right? Even normal attacks later on, in a couple of turns, once his attack power has raised up quite a bit. Yeah, even Goku getting hit with a normal attack is going to hurt really bad. Whereas if we know we can depend on the Youth Gokus to just tank every time, then we probably should just have them in slot 1, right? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so obviously we want to use this active skill here. Again, just giving us the free stats and stuff. And the extra key, which isn't really needed on this turn, but we saw before how we weren't able to get a super attack off with him, so it's definitely possible. Okay, yeah, and then I think we're still going to want to put Path to Power in slot 1. We, again, get pretty lucky with the orb selection. We're able to do the exact same thing as last time. So yeah, I think we should still be safe here, because he double-digit tanked before. We've still got our entire HP pool left to work with as well, so I can't imagine this is going to be too problematic. Okay, and then we're able to get the Bulma support up with the 5 key spheres selected. The 1 type key sphere helps us get a little bit closer on that Dokkan gauge, and then same deal with him, getting the AGL key spheres, not bad. Yeah, I suppose this isn't the worst thing ever, because Bulma is going to be a Rainbow Orb Changer, and so is the Path to Power Kid Goku. We're going to be able to get a really solid key sphere selection with him every turn. I think that's going to help him tank up front there if he needs to. At least until we have the option to have somebody else in his place. Like, we could have kept the AGL Goku there. I mean, I guess he is getting the... Yeah, I don't know. Because we were able to get 40% extra damage reduction on him, and I think once that 40% damage reduction wears off, after the first 7 turns for the other AGL Gokus, they're not going to be tanking in slot 1 as much, and then at that point, we probably will have to rely on AGL UI. And then, like, the physical Path to Power, which we already are, right? So, yeah. Okay, so far our damage output has been pretty low, unfortunate as that is. Yeah, we're like 5 turns in. We've only done 2 bars of HP so far. That's definitely not the best. Okay, for now, I think what we're going to do is this. Do we want to keep Chi-Chi on rotation and rotate off Goku? Because he's been in battle for 5 turns. And then for 7 turns, he's going to have the... that ability active where he gets the extra damage reduction, so he'll still be fine on the next turn, but then on the turn after that, he won't be. But we do still have our Whis that we're going to be able to use too, right? We haven't touched those items yet, so yeah, I think this is going to be fine for now. I think I would rather prioritize keeping this friend Goku on rotation, because if we're able to get his defense high enough, then maybe we'll be fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep going with this. I think this is going to be the right idea, honestly. I want to try and get as many same type orbs as I can here. So we'll grab all the purples here for Chi-Chi. Perfect. Going to be a good bit of healing. Nice, that actually gets us right back to the healing ceiling. All the way back to 100%. Love that. Maybe I should have used the active skill from UI Goku. I mean, he still has so much HP left that we're going to have another turn with AGL UI around. So I guess there's really no point to using it now. I wonder. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference for us, to be honest with you. But it is one of those actives, like, once he's fully built up, there's really no reason to save it. Though I suppose waiting an extra turn or two just does make sure that he is fully built up, right? Though he's only building up with attacks evaded, I suppose. And that build-up isn't going to help with the active skill because he only gets defense and ki from it. From the build-up, that is. Alright, well, so far so good. I think we are about to hit... Oh, man. Maybe the... Maybe it would have been a good idea for us to use that active skill. Just for the guaranteed crits, helping us do some damage at least, because obviously we can see there without the crits, he is not going to be doing very much damage at all, right? Yeah, honestly, in hindsight, knowing that the AGL Youth Gokus can tank in slot 1 as well as they can, I might even want to just redo the team and not have AGL UI and pick a different unit that can do a lot more damage. Because I was thinking that that was where we were going to fall short, was like the slot 1 supers and stuff, right? Okay, so no time like the present, we might as well use this active skill right away. Do a little bit of damage here. And then let me remind myself what... that was pretty good. Love 46 million, love to see that. Let me remind myself what the Path to Power Kid Goku's active skill is going to do here. Okay, so just does a lot of damage, and we get some crit chance as well. Okay, yeah, then I guess we might as well do this also. Let's go ahead and launch that one. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll keep him in slot 1, I think probably just alongside Bulma still. And then, okay, so here's where we reach the point where we are going to be taking a little bit of damage here, because not only is... So he did take some damage. He took, like, I think it was like 100k, 200k, something like that, from the super attack on the last turn. Our HP is, or our defense is about at the same level. He hits harder now than he did before because of the attack raises from receiving attacks, and we're not able to select as many key spheres, which means he's not going to get as much defense or damage reduction. But I think even with all of that stuff considered, it's still the smartest to leave him in slot 1 based on what we have available to us here. I think so. Alright, and then unfortunately... Oh, actually we can. If we do this, we can get the 8 orbs for Bulma, so she gets the extra additional and stuff. Okay, let's see what his defense looks like after everything's selected. So 1.68. And then he's got, what is it, 20% damage reduction on there from the 2 rainbow key spheres. Okay. Oh, I guess that's 28% damage reduction. Or, no, because we didn't select 7 or more. Right? We only got 6 that time, so he doesn't get the extra, or the extra, all allies, like, attack and defense. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Alright, well, yeah, so he's probably going to take some damage here, but I think he should be okay not to, like, get KO'd or anything like that. We do have just so much HP to work with, and we also have to consider he does have type advantage, right? Okay, let's see it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so he is still tanking well enough. 1.68 is translating to like 200k. I think him alongside Bulma is working out pretty well. Just ensuring we're able to get a lot of orb selection every turn, and then her support as well. Not to mention the links that they have. They do have quite a few links together, so that is great. I think it's really funny that every single turn he's been getting a 30% attack lower from receiving that super attack, and then he still is putting out like 30 million attack stats. He would just be that much more insane if he wasn't receiving any of those attack lowers, right? I like how he dodged every single attack after the super. That's ridiculous. Would have been nice to see up front, right? Oh yeah, and I suppose Bulma is actually providing the attack lowers too, on her 18 key super, so all in all, I think we did make a good choice leaving her on rotation rather than the Kid Chi-Chi, right? I think it makes sense for the Kid Chi-Chi to be next to the AGL Goku Youth on the opposite side. Alright, yeah, there we go. This is the guy that we want to see the additionals from. He is hitting harder than everybody, especially on this turn, being the active skill turn, right? Nice. That is very, very good for us. Okay, we're getting to that 50% HP kind of moment. Okay, and then here we are on turn 7. This should be his 7th turn in battle. Both of their 7th turns in battle. So this is the last turn of the 40% damage reduction. This is where things are going to start to get a little bit dicey. But we are looking at 1.2 million defense with the friend AGL Goku, so that's not the worst. We'll see how much more we can build up by the end of this turn. Unfortunately, we can't get any same type orbs with him, so we'll try and clear the board a little so we can just do the same with the other two. Let's see. Yeah, we're not going to get quite back to full, but we do get some HP here. Up to 700k. Should be enough to live, right? Okay, very nice. And I believe we have guard available with him now. Let's see. So, for the first 7 turns, we do have that extra damage reduction, and then also we are launching an additional super with that, which is nice. But then after performing 7 or more super attacks in battle, he gets a guaranteed additional. So the one that rolls off from the entrance animation is just going to be replaced by that one. And then he also gets permanent guard after performing 7 or more super attacks in battle. So again, we'll lose the 40% damage reduction, but then we will gain guard, which is going to be a nice help. Yeah, very, very interesting kit to be fighting against with this AGL Goku Youth, because he also has that funky ability where when he attacks with 12 or more ki, he has the 22% chance to proc evasion. And then he gets, like, if that does proc, then he is guaranteed to evade for the rest of the turn. And that ability is not going to be usable here because he always slot 1 supers us, right? So we're basically never going to be able to take advantage of that because that ability doesn't proc until after we attack. So all we really get is the extra 200% stats from, you know, from receiving a hit, which it looks like we did decently up front there. But again, we still do have the 40% damage reduction, so it's going to be next turn that we really have to worry about that stuff. Or I suppose, not this turn here, but the next rotation where they come back. Okay. So we've got access to the Bulma active. I feel like I've done a thing before where I used the Bulma active and then still got KO'd in slot 1 with her active up. I'm a little bit worried about trusting her in slot 1. I don't think it's the right idea. I think I want to continue on with him. Okay, wait, his defense is so low, though. Hold on. Let me see what his defense looks like. Okay, so the first thing, let's go ahead and use the AGL UI active. Now is definitely a good time to do that. Just to make sure that he gets guaranteed crits for the turn. He'll get a little bit more damage in. That's definitely good. Okay, so we can get 9 orbs here at most with 3 rainbows. That's going to be an extra little bit of damage reduction there. And then I guess let's go ahead and use the Bulma active. Let me make sure I remember all the effects of it. I'm going to take a look. All allies get 7 ki, and then attack and defense 17%. So yeah, she's doing additional support for everybody on top of the support that she's already going to give from her passive. So that should be quite good. And then let's go ahead and see. Only 800k. Why was this so much lower? Did something roll off of his kit? Or... let's see. Yeah, I don't actually know why. Maybe it's just because we don't have any of the other support units on rotation. Because obviously the AGL... no, the Goku Youth doesn't provide any support either. I wonder why. Was it just on that turn where he had the, what's it called? Where we had the Chi-Chi and the Bulma on rotation together? I guess without either of them there, he really doesn't look that strong defensively. Okay, that kind of hurts him. So only 800k there. I'm a little bit worried about the damage we might take. Okay, so I think because of that, let's just go ahead and pop a Whis. And then now we could have 4 full turns where we know we can still depend on the exact same, you know, like damage output levels and stuff, as far as what we were receiving. Oh, we dodged it anyway. Well, look at that. Wouldn't have mattered after all. And that's good. This is the very first time he's dodged the super, so he can actually have his full stack of attack ready to go with the most amount of orbs that we ever selected with him. So he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage here. But yeah, so this will solve all our problems, because then now we don't have to worry about him getting hit too hard in slot 1 here. And then on the next rotation, we have the Goku Youth that just lost his 40% damage reduction from his entrance animation, but has now gained guard and has gained 40% damage reduction from the Whis, right? So we'll probably just keep the one Whis active for the next turn. We should be fine. And then we'll do the same thing again the turn after. We'll just proc a Whis again, and then we should have 2 more turns to be able to finish off all of the enemy's HP here. Which, yeah, I can't imagine is going to take us that long, because we do also have the Dokkan attack coming in, which hopefully we'll be able to use with Path to Power Kid Goku. That would be the most ideal situation. He's probably, well, definitely going to be our strongest, like, slot 1 attacker that we can have around. Okay, there we go. That was about the most amount of damage we could expect from UI Goku there, so not too bad. I'm taking a look at that Dokkan gauge. It's pretty close. I think we can't get any same type orbs here, or we're going to accidentally launch the Dokkan attack, which I would, again, rather do on the opposite rotation. Though, it wouldn't be the worst thing, because this Goku has also built up quite a bit, right? Okay, yeah. So, name of the game, avoid same type orbs at all costs. I think we can here. I don't think that's going to be too difficult. And that should do it, yeah? Okay, there we go. Yep, didn't quite proc that Dokkan attack. That is perfect. And we should still be fine here. Plenty of defense from this guy. Yep, awesome, awesome. Yeah, he's actually got a higher attack stat than the Path to Power Kid Goku at this point. That's kind of interesting. So yeah, it really wouldn't have been the worst thing to get the Dokkan attack here. Not a big deal, though. It'll be perfectly fine with Path to Power Kid Goku as well. Jeez, if the enemy even survives that long, we're doing so much damage here. And we've got a good bit more to come with the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. It's probably not going to be enough to actually KO here, but yeah, we are doing quite well. Go Chi-Chi. Look at her, upwards of 22 million attack stats. You love to see that. Goodness gracious, that was a lot of damage from her. Lovely stuff. Okay, yeah, so we should pretty much be a shoo-in for the win at this point. After we finish dealing a little bit more damage here, we're just going to proc a Whis on the very first moment of next turn, and then we can put Path to Power Kid Goku up front to launch that Dokkan attack, and it should be GG's from there. Absolutely should be. Let's see. Okay. Oh my goodness. So many unit supers and everything proccing. Okay. Here we go. And then let's see what kind of orbs we can get selected here. 7. Alright. Not too bad. And can we get 5 with Bulma? Yes. Perfect. Then we might as well just grab all these AGLs. Not going to make a difference. Alright, and we're going to eat this just fine with the Whis active. Okay, let's try and get all these nodes, get the strongest damaging Dokkan attack that we can here. Oops. It was going so slow, it's not fair. Okay. Okay, even if the Dokkan attack itself isn't enough, which is probably not going to be, yeah, we should still be perfectly fine by the end of the rotation. Well, maybe. Oh my goodness, actually. Yeah, without doing additional supers, he just did the additional normals there. That kind of hurt us, because Bulma doesn't really do that much damage, and then the other Goku Youth that we've got here isn't going to really do a ton, just because he's been rotated off the entire fight, so he has not been stacking on that same level. Also, only being 55% does hurt him a lot, comparative to the friend lead, which is rainbowed, right? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be quite enough. Okay. Well, that's okay, because lucky for us, we still have the one more turn with the Whis active. So we're for sure going to be safe in slot 1 here. And then, obviously, this friend, AGL Goku, is going to be able to absolutely clean up shop. There's such little HP left. We don't have to worry about anything here. Even after getting hit by that slot 1 super, he's still going to be fine. Being linked alongside Chi-Chi's got plenty of support on rotation here. Alright, and it's probably only going to take him one attack to do it. Let's see. Yeah, we're up to 50 million. That's 50 million post being attack lowered, right? Like, that's so ridiculous. Alright, well, good stuff there. Awesome. That is the final mission cleared. Yeah, so it turned out that AGL UI ended up being pretty useless. We never really relied on him as a slot 1 unit. So it probably would have been better to have any other unit on the team that could have provided like a lot more attack output and stuff. Maybe then we wouldn't have had to rely on the Whis. But the other thing is we could have also just put AGL UI in slot 1 at any given point, and then we would have had less necessity to use the Whis, and it maybe would have been easier for us to get like a no item run in there. But because we had such limited attempts left, I did not feel like playing around with the no item strat. I just wanted to get the missions done here to make sure I could get these videos recorded today. So there we go. That is the last of the missions. So we should be fully completing the support memory here. Awesome. Up to the 20% stats in battle. Very good. And then now we have all of the tickets achieved from the Goku Story Edition Red Zone and the Vegeta Story Edition Red Zone, which do give you tickets for the exact same summoning banner. So now I'll be able to make that video as well. Very exciting. Alright, well, that's going to go ahead and finish it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!